So Chennedy Carter is a player for nobody right now. Absolutely nobody. She is not playing basketball, and like, we've now got a situation where we've got one of the 15 best players in the world just not in the league. Just not in the league.
Chennedy Carter just sent shockwaves through the WNBA after shoving Caitlin Clark on national TV. And now she's dealing with the fallout. The backlash? Swift and relentless. But here's the thing. This isn't just about one moment. For years, Carter's name has been tied to locker room drama, teammate conflicts, and off-court controversy. And now? It looks like the league is finally saying, enough. With her reputation catching up to her, Carter's WNBA future might be slipping away for good. But trust me, this story goes way deeper than you think.
I don't know why people be so surprised. Oh my God, Chennedy Carter deserved a play. Why? Like, did y'all forget all of the events that transpired last year with her and Caitlin Clark? And then she refused to own up to what she did? What organization want to deal with that?
Here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about one heated moment. Chennedy Carter has built a reputation for controversy, with locker room tension trailing her at every stop. And now, she's unemployed once again. That makes 4 teams that gave her a shot, only to move on. The real question now, does any team still believe she's worth the gamble?
And people was wondering on Twitter and X, why come she haven't found the team? I'm here to tell you, this ain't rocket science why she ain't found the team. I don't know why people be so surprised. Oh my God, Chennedy Carter deserved a play. Why?
Imagine having elite talent, but being so polarizing that 4 teams decided, we're better off without you. That's the reality for Chennedy Carter. And we're breaking down every moment that led to this. From locker room drama to that fiery shove on Caitlin Clark, this story has everything. Picture this: the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever locked in a fierce battle, their rivalry more intense than ever. The crowd is electric, every possession cranking up the tension. And Caitlin Clark? She's in her zone, draining shots like she's rewriting history. The arena is alive, fans roaring, and then everything takes a turn.
Working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot. Logo make for Clark.
The Indiana Fever. They make sure that the ball moves around until it gets back in the hands off Caitlin when she gives the ball up.
Well, the Fever on a 15-2 extended run from the end of the first quarter. Clark again.
And then, out of nowhere, Chennedy Carter snaps. She delivers a hard shove to Caitlin Clark, right in the heat of the game. The entire arena stops. It's as if time itself pauses. One of those moments where everything slows down, and for a split second, the crowd is frozen in shock, struggling to process what just unfolded.
And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter, Clark. I mean, that's clearly...
You might be thinking, it's just a shove, right? Wrong. This is where it gets wild. The refs hesitate, caught in disbelief. The WNBA president is stunned. And Clark? Her expression says it all. Pure shock, unable to believe what just happened. And Carter? No apology, no remorse, just standing there like it was nothing.
This was originally ruled an away from the ball foul, but it was obviously a flagrant foul. It really upset a lot of people, which really escalated the issue, and it was really just poor sportsmanship on Kennedy's part.
The WNBA officials don't waste a second. Flagrant foul. Unnecessary. Reckless. Because in this league, a shove like that doesn't just get ignored. This isn't football, folks. In basketball, that kind of move is a serious issue.
Before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the Fever score.
I actually know Caitlin. I have questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
But wait, it gets even crazier. After all the chaos, what does Carter do? Nothing. No apology, no explanation. Just a shrug, like it never happened. And when reporters press for answers, she shuts them down with a cold, "I'm not answering any Clark questions." If silence could ignite a fire, this one's already an inferno.
That right there, I believe, was the push that altered her career. And I'm telling you right now, it is not looking good for Chennedy Carter.
Now, everyone's wondering, what's next for Carter? And honestly, it's not looking good. The league won't just let this slide. Fines, suspensions, maybe even worse. One thing's certain, her WNBA future is hanging by a thread.
Now, a lot of people was kind of surprised by this. I'm not, because I know, you know what I'm saying? What she did to Caitlin Clark was completely unnecessary. And I'm here to tell you guys, she's living with that decision today because she is without a job.
But let's take a step back. This isn't just about one shove or a heated game. It's about the direction of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark has been igniting crowds and injecting new energy into women's basketball. But instead of celebrating that momentum, this incident is stealing the spotlight.
When Tyler Marsh did the press conference, he talked about Angel Reese, he talked about Cardoso, who I think is going to be a star in the WNBA, but he did not really mention Chennedy Carter at all, and that raised a lot of eyebrows.
You have to wonder, what's going through Carter's mind right now? Did she not see how bad this would look? Or was it just pure frustration? Boiling over? And then there's Clark. She's handled it like a true pro. But let's be real, this has to sting. Imagine grinding your way to the top, becoming one of the league's brightest stars, only to have someone try to literally knock you down.
One person said we still can't be doing this every year. Chennedy Carter is the reason WNBA won't take a risk on her.
Fans are losing it online. Social media is on fire. Clips of the shove are everywhere. Debates are raging, and everyone is taking sides. It's like the entire basketball world is holding its breath, waiting for the next move.
And she gets no offer to return from the Chicago Sky, which a lot of people have been feeling by her social media posts that she got quite offended by.
Here's the truth. This isn't just about Carter versus Clark anymore. It's about the WNBA making a statement. The league is drawing a clear line, sending a message to every player, coach, and fan. How they handle this moment will have lasting effects far beyond one game. You might think Carter's too talented to be done, right? Think again. The Chicago Sky didn't just bench her, they cut ties completely. No trade, no contract extension, no effort to get something in return. Just a blunt, "We're moving on." And the craziest part? Carter wasn't just another player, she was the team's top scorer. Letting her go for nothing? That says everything.
And there has not been a peep about anywhere that she could be landing in this free agency. So a lot of people, including myself, are wondering, is she worth the risk now?
Now, with her reputation in ruins, GMs aren't even picking up the phone. Just like that, a once promising star has become untouchable. How fast can a career fall apart? Quicker than you'd ever imagine. And the harshest truth? Some doors, once closed, never reopen.
Come on, cheer for your teammates, be a part of this team, and then ensues an altercation between the two where Chennedy Carter was sent to the locker room mid-game, of which afterwards, after the game, this is what has been reported. I guess Chennedy Carter wanted to fight Courtney Williams, like physically fight Courtney Williams, who backed away from this and was like, no way. So there was no actual physical altercation that happened.
Let's zoom out. Carter's past is finally catching up with her, and it's messier than most realized. Back at Texas A&M, she was a standout, a surefire star with a future that seemed unstoppable. The Atlanta Dream saw that potential and made her a first-round pick. But instead of securing her place in the league, she burned every bridge along the way. So how did it all unravel? Let's break down the chaos.
The Atlanta Dream did suspend her in the middle of the sophomore season, basically saying she was a detriment to the team and the team culture. So then the Atlanta Dream decided to trade her to the Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks.
Carter's fiery personality isn't breaking news. Just ask Courtney Williams. Back in Atlanta, tensions exploded when Carter clashed with Williams, a player known for steering clear of drama. If even she couldn't avoid conflict, that says a lot. At first, the Dream hesitated, unsure how to manage their talented but unpredictable guard. But things only spiraled further. Eventually, they made the call: suspension. And not long after, a trade.
She ended up playing a lot less minutes there, and the reasoning that the Sparks were saying that she was playing less minutes was because of poor conduct, and that was the 2022 season. Then in the 2023 season, the Sparks just decided to release her.
A fresh start with the Los Angeles Sparks? That's what it should have been. But instead of rewriting her story, Carter repeated the same cycle. Benched again, this time for poor conduct. Different team, same drama. And just when it seemed like she might turn things around, things took an even darker turn. Trust me, it only gets worse from here. Stay tuned.
None of the teams were willing to pick her up after that, so she ends up going over to Turkey, playing in Turkey, of which she balled out. So then the W team started looking at her again and being like, maybe we should give this person another chance. So she was signed to the Chicago Sky with Teresa Weatherspoon, with Angel Reese, with Camila Cardoso, and, the rest of the folks.
At this point, you might be wondering, just how bad is it? Let me spell it out. One WNBA executive didn't hold back, saying they wouldn't touch Carter with a 10-foot pole. And no, that's not an exaggeration. She's officially become radioactive. This isn't just one team moving on, it's the entire league looking the other way.
When he did that interview 2 months ago, once he got hired, saying he wants to build around Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese because they are the cornerstone of the team, I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm very excited. I'm like, you're absolutely correct. But it was no mention of Chennedy Carter. That's when I started to worry. Let me just read you some excerpts on, the T. So it says, according to multiple league sources, players were unhappy with the dynamic created in the locker room last year due to Carter's behavior, which went unchecked by former coach Teresa Weatherspoon.
Still not convinced? Just look at how the Chicago Sky handled the situation. They didn't try to trade Carter. They didn't negotiate a buyout. They simply cut her loose. No second chances. No hesitation. In the WNBA, teams don't just walk away from their top scorer without a plan. When they do, it speaks volumes. The drama was worse than any talent she brought to the court.